Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, August 21st. This is Texan TV News from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. This show is being filmed and produced from our new studio in the OA Grant Humanities Building. I am Isaac Foster. Here are today's top stories. Tarleton forms a School of Criminology. Stephenville ISD receives prestigious award. Governor Perry accused of coercion and official oppression. Changes coming to the no-fly list policies. American journalist beheaded in Islamic State militants. The AP News Minute, and the weather. In campus news, the Tarleton State University website reports a new school within the College of Liberal and Fine Arts. The School of Criminology, Criminal Justice, and Strategic Studies is pending approval from the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents. The new school will be headed by Executive Director Dr. Alex Del Carmen. Within the school will be the traditional departments of criminal justice and military science, along with newer subjects such as an Institute for Homeland Security, Cybercrime, International Criminal Justice Studies, and the Institute for Predictive and Analytical Policing Science. Del Carmen said the new school is designed with the working professional in mind. It will allow for individuals with working experience in the criminal justice field to attain their educational goals and aspirations. The creation of this new school comes as a result of the growth in the normal criminal justice students at Tarleton State in recent years. In local news, the Stephenville Empire-Tribune reports that the Stephenville Independent School District is one of 87 out of 1,032 school districts in Texas to win this prestigious award of the Texas Comptroller Leadership Circle Platinum Distinction for 2014. Deborah Hummel, Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations, said that the award is given by the State Comptroller's Office. It began about 5 years ago to encourage more financial transparency in local government. Hummel says she began to look into the project and what requirements the district would need to receive the distinction, and the website changes that would follow. Applying them allows people to access public information more easily and be able to search the website. Now for state, national, and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, Governor Rick Perry, who has plans for a presidential run in 2016, has been booked with 2 felony accounts of abuse of power. This came from Perry following through with a threat he made to state public corruption prosecutors. Perry turned himself into the Travis County Courthouse on Tuesday. Perry is accused of coercion and official oppression after publicly promising to veto $7.5 million for the state public integrity that is run by the Travis County District Attorney's Office. Perry's threat to veto the funding was in response to District Attorney Rosemary Lindbergh drunken driving conviction. Perry promised the veto if Lindbergh did not resign, which she did not. Perry followed through with the veto and drew an ethics complaint.
The actions that I took were lawful, they were legal, and they were proper. This indictment is fundamentally a political act that seeks to achieve at the courthouse what could not be achieved at the ballot box. But we don't resolve political disputes or policy differences by indictments. We don't criminalize political or policy disagreements. We will prevail. We will prevail. And if I had to do so, I would veto funding for the Public Integrity Unit again.
Well, it's unfortunate. Kids are going to go back to school next week and they're going to learn that their governor got a mugshot and was indicted the week before. It's a bad example to set. The governor is going to spend the next couple months using Texas taxpayer dollars to campaign publicly for his trial. He's going to use that money to campaign for president, and at the end of the day, that's the reason why Texas Democrats have called on the governor to step down, because at the end of the day, the governor is no longer focused on the best interests of everyday Texans. He's focused on his legal defense and higher office, and that just ain't right.
Last week, Perry was indicted by an Austin grand jury, but Perry is saying that it is just a political ploy. In national news, currently when someone gets placed on a no-fly list, there is no way to get off, which is a policy that is going to change.
The Obama administration says changes are coming to the way travelers can ask to be removed from no-fly lists. That comes after a federal judge ruled that there's no meaningful way for travelers to make a challenge when they're put on the list. The list was created after the September 11th terror attacks to keep suspected terrorists off planes. But as of last summer, 48,000 people were on the list. 13 people sued the government to have the policy changed. One of them found out he was on the list when he tried to print a boarding pass.
Back in April of 2010, I went to the airport to fly to Spokane, Washington to train a dog, and when I went up to the ticket counter to get my ticket printed, I was unable to do so. The lady took my license. She went in back for about 5 minutes, kind of gave me some strange looks, And when she came back out, I was surrounded by TSA and Chicago police and was told that I was on the no-fly list.
That incident was followed by months of challenges and appeals that went nowhere.
Nothing, there was no crimes committed. I hadn't been arrested, nothing had happened. I'd just been put on this list that I had no way of knowing how I got on it or how to get off it.
The government isn't giving many details about what changes are coming. Diane Kepley, The Associated Press.
In international news, a video was released onto the internet Tuesday showing the beheading of Islamic State militants. 2 U.S. officials believe that it is in fact American journalist James Foley.
American journalist James Foley was the victim seen beheaded in an Islamic State video, according to 2 U.S. officials. Separately, Foley's family confirmed his death in a statement posted on a webpage that was created to rally support for his release. In a statement, Foley's mother, Diane Foley, said the journalist, quote, gave his life trying to expose the world to the suffering of the Syrian people. One of the U.S. officials said President Barack Obama was expected to make a statement about the killing on Wednesday. The U.S. official spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the video by name. Bob McCall, Associated Press.
The Islamic State said that Foley's death was in response to American airstrikes, and they would continue to kill more hostages if the attacks continued. The U.S. has continued the airstrikes after the video surfaced. The administration released information that there have been several attempts to rescue Foley and others, but they have failed. And for more national and international stories, we go to the AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. A grand jury in Missouri is hearing evidence to determine if a police officer will be charged in the shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Brown. Authorities in Ferguson report a much calmer night with only 6 arrests. The Palestinian militant group Hamas says an Israeli airstrike in Gaza killed 3 of its commanders. The airstrike leveled a 4-story house and killed a total of 6 people. Search crews in Hiroshima, Japan are still looking for missing people after a massive landslide that killed at least 36 people. And California's drought is hurting honey supplies and raising prices. Less rainfall means fewer crops and wildflowers that will provide the nectar that bees need to make honey. Bob McCall, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
Today's weather forecast, provided by weather.com, is mostly sunny with a high of 98 and a low of 73 tonight with no chance of rain. This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. To make a quick little correction there, the photo of Del Carmen is actually reported by Tarleton instead of the Empire-Tribune as reported, just to go ahead and let you know about that. But also, you can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all your latest local, state, national, and international news, as well as all of your entertainment and sports news. Special thanks goes to producers Bethany Kyle and Sarah Gann for production of this first show from the news studio. I am Isaac Foster. Have a wonderful day, Tarleton Texans.